Hello and welcome at Model Kit Beginner, all the way down from Cape Town. Hope you guys doing well, and we're having a look today at the 1963 Chevy Nova SS, and this one is from Trumpeter. No itchy nose. Right, Trumpeter obviously has some very interesting kits as far as cars are concerned, and some of them really look, I mean, looking at that Ford range, Falcons and this stuff which they had, I mean, they were very interesting kits. Not sure if the Chevy Nova will be living up to those expectations, but certainly will be interesting to see. Here we go. You can see it as a, well, it is a cabriolet in red. There's the front again. Then we have front and rear view right over here. A little bit about the Chevy Nova in English, and otherwise that is about it. Now it will be interesting to see what is in the box, always is with the Trumpeter kits, so I suggest we go down to the bench and have a look. But before we do that, let's have a quick peek at the history. Right, and here we are, scale mates, having a quick look at the Chevy Nova 400 Convertible. It's from, as I said, Trumpeter. It is a 125 kit and it came out in 2004. So as far as mid-60s cars go, this came out quite late, so, which is always promising, you know, so you expect a little bit better detail, and the parts have been, you know, the molds is still in a relatively good condition. There were this was derived from the very first one, which probably came out more or less at the same time, which is the SS Coupe. Very nice. I love it as a coupe. Hardtop, really lovely. And we obviously we're having a look today at this one. Right, and what is in that box? Are all the surfboards in there as well? Well, only one way to find out. Let's get down to the bench. Right, and here we are with the Chevy Nova SS from the fine folks over at Trumpeter. Just had a look at the box, nothing interesting really on there. The carton is corrugated, so it's not like the smooth carton we are normally used from kits, so that's very interesting. See that here, corrugated carton. And then it looks like this. We have obviously the instruction sheet. We'll look into this little department just now. We have plastic, transparent plastic, more plastic, chrome plastic, and big plastic again. And then here on the side we have a, looks like a big steel rod. We will look out for that in the, let's say, 3/4 of a millimeter steel rod. We have to look out in the instruction what that is possibly for. Right, and then let's have a look at the secret passage we have here. Tires, and it looks like PE and other stuff. We're gonna have a go at that just now. And we have the body. That's about it. Right. Then I would say, as we always do, we have a quick look at the instruction sheet. So here are all the sprues. Here's where you can check if everything is in your box. Photo etched parts, a rubber rim, pretty cool, and all the other parts. Here they start out with the engine, and should we go a little bit closer? I think we should go a little bit closer so we can all better see. Here we go. Right, now you can see the engine putting together. Looks like very nice. Very nice engine. I like like a straight 6. So this looks very, very beautiful, and gives you all the colors here in the instruction sheet itself. Always enjoy that. Pretty cool. There's no flipping forwards, backwards. Firewall, wheel construction right over here, front wheel, back wheel. Then we go here, have a look at the half of the frame, front part of the frame, and seats, bucket seats, the dashboard. This looks like the differential here. Then we have here exhaust, putting the front frame onto the rest of the bucket. Then the leaf springs and shock absorbers right over here. We then move over to the interior bench, side covers for the door, so no molded in interior. Always love that. Firewall right over here, which you pre-construct. Then we have the dashboard with the steering wheel. There's a little bit of a chrome silver horn ring right over here. Pretty cool. And here you construct the hood hinge by yourself. Oh wow, out of P. That's pretty interesting. All right, let's see how that goes. And obviously here are the hood hinges and the other parts for the fender well, which you do separately, which obviously is black. Fender well will then get installed right over here. Windshield goes in, and the little triangle window goes in. Look at that, the hood and the frame of the hood are different. Not the hood, the trunk. Trunk sits out on a frame. Very interesting. Love that. Love that. Certainly quite some detail. I love what I see here in the instruction sheet. Here we go. Canopy right over here. Is that where the long steel rod goes? Yeah, I've only seen one. So E4, E6, E6, E4. No, these are plastic chrome parts. Still haven't figured out what to do with that huge steel rod. So if you know what to do with that huge steel rod, please do give me a shout. I'm just looking again if I see something which I have missed. I don't see that steel rod here in the parts either. Very interesting. So if you know what we are supposed to do with that steel rod, please do write it in the comment, and we don't die stupid. Awesome. But let's move on and have a go at the parts. Clear parts right over here. Very nice, look very clean. We just have the windshield, the two triangle windows, we have the headlight covers and some smaller pieces for the indicators, I would assume. And there is some red lights here for the back as well, transparent red. Always good to see. Then yeah, this one, this is a surprise package of notes, so let's open this up and see what this is about. Right, so we have a spring or two. I'm not sure if it's two rolled into, yeah, it's two springs right over here. Here we go. You can see it right there. So I take it this goes somewhere into the suspension. Then here we have the PE parts. Here's a Chevrolet SS, so that's all PE. That's pretty cool. And then obviously, as we have just seen, the hood hinges will be constructed out of PE. Let's see how that goes. Then we have tires. We have tire rings right over here, rubber tire rings, very nice. And then we have the tires themselves. We need to open them up, have a proper look at them. They are not branded on either side, and they look like good old pulley tires who will give you a nice screech at 35 miles an hour around the bend. Here we go. Looks very original, and I like that. I really do. Right, so these are interesting parts. Very, very cool. And then we are already, oh no, wait, we are not. We still have the chrome, which we want to have a look at before we get to the normal plastic. Right, chrome parts. So here we are, wheel covers, right over here. That looks pretty cool. I like that. Here we have the side trim. Always iffy. Always interesting. There's some thin trim over here as well. Exhaust out of chrome. Not quite sure if I like that a lot. Actually, I'm pretty sure I don't. Here's some chrome parts for the dashboard, or wipers, light buckets. We have the front grille right over here, and then two bumpers. Interesting chrome parts. Here are the rear lights as well. You interested in that? That looks actually quite cool. Not sure about the chrome exhaust. Not sure about some other parts who they decided to chrome. But that's not here or there. Obviously we can dechrome stuff. Not a problem. Or you can just put some matte over that chrome exhaust and it might look already a lot more realistic. Right, and now finally the plastic starts. We have this smallish sprue right over here, and this one contains the rear seat with some structure. Don't know if you can see there. I think you can kind of guess it from here. Pretty cool. We have the tonneau cover, we have a piece of straight plastic, sun visors right over here, and then the side panels also have a nice structure to it. Here we go. Here you can get an idea what the door side panels look like. Pretty cool. Right, and then we have a look at the first biggie. Here we go. This has a bottom pan, a steering wheel, always interesting. That looks quite cool actually. Very cool. Right, we have parts of the engine. So here's the bolt assembly. There's a gearbox, tank, inner fenders, engine halves, oil pan right over here, shock absorbers, some other engine parts like starter, generator, etc. And here is a horn ring right over there, which you can obviously first chrome if you want to. And valve cover, not quite sure what that is. Is that the air filter? Could be. If it is, it's quite a biggie. Right, and that is the first sprue. Also says 2004 Trumpeter. That's what we have established already. And then we go last but certainly not least, have a look at this. Right, now what do we have here? Is that white wall tire rings? Not sure, not sure. We have the bonnet right over here, the trunk lid right over here. Here is the dashboard. Here you go. This way, Roland. Here we go. Right, radiator, seats, bucket seats. And we have seen the other seats right there on the other side already, have we not? And front frame is right over here. Frame for the bonnet is right over here. Exhaust parts. Here are different hinges if you don't want to struggle with the PE ones. Well, I'll give it a shot, see how that goes. And if it doesn't go as good to see, you have backup right over here if you want to display it. Open. Let's look if there's anything interesting on the other side. Not really. All pretty clean. Seems to be maybe a little bit of a hardish plastic, quite as soft and malleable like the grey one, but that has its advantages too. And that is what it looks like. Well, I think that's not bad at all. And then last, certainly not least, we come to the classic Nova body. Very, very modern for the times. And here we are. Looks very pretty. Very nice lines. This might be chrome here at the bottom. Yes, it is. Right, sure, you'll have to deal with that. Obviously, the window frame is chrome as well. So there's a bit of masking to be done. A little bit of filing. Can feel the seams right over there. So it needs a little bit of tender loving care. So this is the side where those the chrome goes in. Interestingly enough, we will certainly have a go at that. And here we have the light buckets right over here. So all in all, straightforward, doesn't look too complicated, needs a bit of cleaning up, and you should have a beautiful piece of Nova to work with. Right, let's get that back into this little plastic bag, shall we? Especially with that window frame, that looks rather delicate. You don't want to break that off. You really don't. Right, and we didn't. And then obviously it has these beautiful departments. I mean, I've seen it here. It goes in, so it certainly is separated from all the other parts which will not ding around, which is nice. Thrown back in. Then we have these smaller parts which also go in here. So you can close that up again. Have the transparent parts, the instruction sheet, and last but not least, the lid. And there you go, we have ourselves reboxed our Chevy Nova. Pretty cool. Let's get most of it in here. And here it is. And let's go get back upstairs, GM licensed, and have a last couple of thoughts. And here we are, done. The 1963 Chevrolet Nova SS from the fine folks over at Trumpeter. I think it's a very nice kit. Very little flesh, if any, to speak of. Body needs a little bit of tender loving care, but not much. And you should be ready to get a very, very nice model out of this. I think it's a lovely car, a classic, really is. No 5 surfboards, so very disappointing. But apart from that, I think it's a great kit. Those thin chrome parts, yeah, you need to be careful with those. Otherwise, thanks very much for popping in. Hope you enjoyed that, and greetings from Cape Town. Cheers.